Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Alexander, and I'm going to be doing a 2020 vision forecast, astrological forecast of the major transits that are going on. And before I get into that, I have a 2020 seed meditation that you can download. And what comes with that is also a sign-by-sign forecast of health, love, money, many different things that you get for free when you get this 2020 meditation that helps you to really forecast, overcome the astrology, and be able to create the first year in this new decade as you see fit. It's a very powerful 12-day meditation. I'll put some I'll put some links in the description below so that you can figure it out. So it's a very powerful meditation, and it begins on January 1st. So you want to be sure that you get the meditation before January 1st, because each of the first 12 days of January represent that seed level, that quantum level for that month in the year. So, I mean, you can get it on the 4th of January, but then you go from January, March, April, on. So, I mean, any month is better than no month at all, but, you might want to get it before so that you can begin on January 1st. So anyhow, let's talk about the major transits that are going on in 2020, which is the first year of the 2020 decade. I did another video on that. You can check it out elsewhere on my channel. I'll put a link in the description below as well to kind of get like the major overview of what's going on. This is kind of like what's going on in this year, even though we have some huge transits that are going on. So like I said, obviously 2020 is the first year of the 2020s. And it's just like we need some clarity, because there are so many spiritual systems that are available today. But astrology and tarot, they really, they remain a guiding light for clarity and for liberation. So, really showing us what is the cosmic structure, what are the systems that are operating through that structure in 2020. So I can just tell you right off the bat that the cosmic signature for the year 2020 is the sign Capricorn. So this is going to bring up, challenges connected to attachments, healthy and unhealthy attachments. We also have Jupiter is in Capricorn. So when we're talking about the cosmic signatures, we're talking about like the overriding archetype. We already know that 2020 is ruled by, the Emperor archetype, but the cosmic signature is kind of like showing us what is that, like when you think of like your signature, like what is the cosmic signature that's bringing up challenges, and what is a huge highlighted theme also. Now Jupiter is also transiting in Capricorn. You can read about that and also check out a video where I go specifically into that on my channel. But this is really a year, 2020 is a year of growing out of codependency. Themes of bondage, these are all Capricorn themes. Themes of materialism, manipulation, these are all highlighted. So we really need to be careful about creating karma with others. Remember, we are here to clear our karma, not to create more of it. In the tarot, Capricorn is ruled by the devil archetype, where, these guys, they are chained. There's codependent chains going on here. So we are here to clear out our karma, not to create more karma. Most of us have, accumulated so much karma in our current life that we barely have enough time to deal with past life karma in a proactive, conscious, head-on approach. So perseverance is going to be asked of us as a collective. Also, if a deal comes along, it seems too good to be true, it's probably going to be, look out for that, especially during the 3 phases of Mercury that we have this year, which are all happening in water signs. So please make note of this. From February 17th until March 10th, we have Mercury in retrograde. Then from June 18th to July 12th, we have Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So the first one's Mercury retrograde in Pisces, the next one's Mercury retrograde in Cancer, and then from October 14th until November 3rd, we have Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. And because Mercury retrograde affects our focus, our communication, keep it together as much as possible. Stay focused and double check your travel plans, your contracts, your negotiations. Avoid beginning anything big or signing anything big if possible. This year, again, it's happening within the water signs, so the water signs are going to really feel that. It's almost like all the water is going in reverse, really giving it the ability to flow upstream like a salmon, right? So it's time to open our mind, Mercury, and go against the emotional flows. Water signs will feel the Mercury retrograde massively, and it's going to create a thirst for safety and security from fear. All right? So just keep in mind, and remember, I go into detail for each sign in that free guide that you can get when you sign up for the 2020 seed meditation. Now, again, it's no wonder that, the cosmic signature for 2020 is Capricorn. I mean, look at all these planets in Capricorn. For example, we have the Jupiter in Capricorn, like I said. Pluto's in Capricorn until 2025. Saturn is finishing up its transit in Capricorn. So, with Pluto in Capricorn, this is a transit that has triggered how collective karma and interdependence affect us on the deepest and most personal level down to the cellular level, right? So Pluto brings upgrade, and Capricorn rules over what's called the consensus reality, which puts us into situations where many of us may know something with every cell of our body, but we cannot provide logical evidence for it. There's a lot of that going on. So in an era of no activity really other than social networking, where nothing is really based on experience anymore, right? The group mind has immediate effects, good and bad, on everyone, everywhere, instantly. So our personal minds will affect the collective without a lot of resistance. Now, Pluto also tells us where we belong, right? Where we project others belong also. So where is it that we belong? Where do we think other people belong? So this includes anywhere like from, if you're in high school or if you're in politics, even spam and personalized Google ads and results. This is all ruled by the Pluto and Capricorn transit, which will either keep us really stuck in the matrix or it's going to help us to upgrade and to get out of it. So that's a really powerful thing going on there. Saturn is finishing up its transit in Capricorn as well throughout 2020. So there's a huge lesson that we want to learn in this phase is that, regarding manifestation, Saturn rules Capricorn. And I also have an article about that. You can read it in the link in the description below where I break it down by phases. But it's like the process of creating the material, which is a spiritual process. So just like every phase in this 3-year transit, we're going to begin this final phase on the winter solstice. Really powerful. When the light begins to return to the world. So now we too are increasing our power. So we're building and finalizing upon the past 2 years of Saturn and Capricorn. And then we're going to graduate this transit of our life by understanding that spirituality is not invisible. In fact, we are to learn that spirituality is within the material. Now, in reality, it is incomplete without the material. It is only invisible if we do not accept it as truth. So this is a window of time as Saturn is going through these last degrees of Capricorn in which we become grounded. We come down to earth and we become, we're in awe of the spiritual within the material. And this includes currency or money or, an energy or like a current of energy, right? So, also worth mentioning is that at the end of 2020, Jupiter is going to catch up with Saturn after it moves into Aquarius, which is beginning another powerful cycle of huge changes in society, and restitution. So we can expect the healing of the Earth's waters, for example, as well as a huge emotional cleansing on a grand scale. It's almost as if the collective thirst that I was talking about earlier is being quenched to the degree that we are able to take self-responsibility and thereby bring our best efforts to the world at large, So we are releasing the old subconscious patterns and warding off daunting emotions with this transit. There's more to come when that gets closer, but we need to know that this begins in 2020 and is another very long cycle of 20 years or so. Now, probably also that a really big thing that I want to talk about is that we're going to be challenged this year by the powerful and transformative planetary alignments in Capricorn with Pluto, Saturn, and yes, also Jupiter. So let's talk about first the Pluto-Saturn alignment, which is going to happen on January 12th, 2020, which is also the seed level, the quantum level for the month of December in 2020. Again, download my meditation, link in the description below. We haven't had this alignment since November 7th, 1982, and it won't happen again until June 5th, 2053. June 15th, excuse me, 2053. Now, in 2020, because this is a powerful conjunction that's happening within Capricorn, we will experience, a real total breakdown of social systems and structures, as well as the beginning of rebuilding new ones. This is occurring on a collective and on a personal level. The entire way that we attract and consume our resources will begin to change from here on out. We have the opportunity to concentrate our power so that we can manifest with confidence. At the same time, our material attachments will be severed with this alignment. So I suggest doing some atonements. You can get the exercises on my site before this exact conjunction occurs. Anything that we hold on to tightly needs to loosen up. The tighter that we grip, the more suffering that we are going to incur. And who is going to suffer the most? The miser, greedy people. Greed demons will be attacked, and they will counterattack too. So we need to understand that greed totally blocks our generosity, and this Pluto-Saturn alignment will ask us to really hit the reset button on our greed so that we can open our hearts and utilize logic. So in the greater picture of things, it's once again about removing blockages from our heart and mind so that we can really allow for the conjunction of heart and mind to help us use multidimensional thinking, which in turn brings about multidimensional solutions and experiences, or what we call the fifth dimension. I did another video on that with the 2020 decade forecast, and breakdown. You can watch it or read about it on my site. I'll put links in the description. Now, if we can manage this during this Saturn-Pluto alignment, the conjunction is going to allow us to access our personal power unlike anything before. So you want to attract your reality and manifest all of your wishes. If you really want that, right? Do the above and throw out all the other books of the trade, because it's really the most effective way. So this isn't a trademark skill, you guys. Magicians and wizards have been doing it for centuries. How else would we be where we are today if we didn't have them to pave the way? So this skill is being bestowed onto people who are ready to receive it with this alignment. This multidimensional thinking is what I'm talking about. And that's what transits do. They give us gifts. So, grab your beggar's bowl and really get ready to receive your gifts. All gifts come from above and are utilized by our ego and not the other way around. The gifts don't come from the ego. So do not forget this during this alignment. Pluto, again, represents this energy of manifestation. The energy of transformation of the world for better or for worse. Saturn represents the material world and our power to manifest. Capricorn also is the darkest area of our chart, and yet it tells us where we can bring the most light, right? Because we're the darkest areas where the most light can go. So when Pluto and Saturn come together in Capricorn, we have the ability to transform the material world for better or for worse. So forget anything negative you might have heard about these transits, and let's commit right now, today, to create a better world for posterity. So wherever this alignment is occurring within your chart should be noted. The house placement will reveal how you can positively contribute to the collective upgrade. In April, Jupiter will join Pluto in Capricorn, bringing some much needed expansion upon whatever upgrade we revealed in the material world. Jupiter will either, really cause us to spin around within that same old stage, or allow us to take what we have manifested and to grow it. Now, all in all, we will be shown where we are worshiping the creations and not appreciating the source, and how this keeps us trapped in material bondage. We will also be granted the ability to attain a sense of enlightenment so that we can truly see beyond the manipulations and sugarcoatings of succumbing to temptations. Only then will we be able to transcend our fears and have the courage to step into our destiny, which is really what this is all about. 2020 will also be the host to 4 partial lunar eclipses and 2 solar eclipses that are going to have a strong impact on all sentient beings. I'm going to do a live event in Hollywood, okay, on the eclipse in January. So, check out that as well. Another retrograde motion worth mentioning is Venus, the planet of desire and beauty, is going to go retrograde in Gemini from May 12th to June 24th. And this is going to be trials and tests of love. And, old loves may reemerge in order for us to really make sure that we have healed them, okay? Frameworks, communication, relationships, all these things are Gemini themes on a grand scale are going to be recontextualized and put into proper perspective. And finally, Pluto will be going retrograde from April 25th until October 4th in Capricorn. So we will be asked to really go over, old graves and dig up anything that we have missed. Attachments, good and bad, will be challenged. Once we get to the other side of this retrograde motion, we will attain a huge connection to the source as a collective and be able to truly transform. This is really what we want. So I just wish and hope that it's something that we create proactively so it won't be a forced change like I was talking about in the 2020. So that is, a brief summary of what's going on astrologically throughout the year 2020. Again, you can get my free astrological guide that has all the dates and sign-by-sign breakdown of what's going on, which comes free when you get the 12-day 2020 meditation that you do from January 1st until January 12th. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. If you need a reading or anything to go really deeper into this, please, feel free to book me. And, I thank you for being the one who makes a difference by using Astrology. Subscribe to my channel, like the video. I will see you guys next time. All right, bye-bye. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 2020 year.